battles unfold on the table, let's expanse. Miniature warriors in a strategic dance. 15 millimeters of intricate design. A world of conflict in a scaled down line. Terrain crafted with precision and care. Armies maneuver under watchful glare. Dice roll to decide the fate of the day. Strategies clash in a tactical display.
Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I'm coming at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. In today's video, we're continuing on with my Napoleonic project updates. In my Napoleonic project, I'm currently painting some 15mm miniatures for the Battle of Quatre Bras at the battalion scale. This week, we had finished the last few units of artillery. I got the horse artillery finished, and I've got all the other artillery that needed to be rebased. Everything has been rebased. I now have all the limbers, all the guns, and everything else like that. But what I'm going to show you today are not the ones that I rebased, but the ones that I just recently painted. This right here is a gun battery for the 11th Cavalry. It's part of the 3rd Cavalry Corps under Kellerman and Hertier. So these are horse artillerymen with their 6-pounders. You'll notice that a couple of different things. The base edges, in this case, I painted it with commando green, not like olive drab or dunkelgrün, darker greens. I went this time with a little bit lighter green on all the models that I'm going to show you today. And I also flocked it a little bit differently as well. I used the not Statigrass, it's called Micro Scatter, which is more of the like sawdusty type flock, which looks really good. I'm very happy with it. On top of it, I did 2 layers of flock. The second layer is the Woodland Scenics. It's not clump foliage. It's called coarse turf. There it is. It's a little has like 1 to 2 millimeter clumps of turf in there, and so what I did was once. And you can kind of see it right there. What I did was, once I got the microscatter set and ready to go, then I went back over it with my brush and I put areas, like I batted down some glue in various different locations, and then sprinkled the coarse turf on there. And also using my finger, kind of pressing it into the glue. And then once all that would dry, then I shook it all out to give it more of a wild, wildernessy type look. I just wanted it to be a little bit more rough and tumble, without going in and actually adding tufts. Because at 15mm, everything needs to be a little bit small. So I was using the coarse turf. Okay, so that explains all of that. I think these guns came out really well as well. I'm very happy with the guns. The barrels I painted, normally I paint my barrels bronze. I use the Vallejo bronze, which is a very dark color. But in this instance, I didn't use the Vallejo bronze. I used the burnt metal. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is the color here that I used. It's called burnt iron, and you can kind of see the color that it is. That's what I put on the barrels. And I think they came out really darker looking than previously, but that's the effect I was going for. I think it looks really good. You'll have to tell me what you think about it. All right, let me get out another battery. All right, this is also the French horse artillery. This is part of 2nd Cav Division under Pyre, which is part of the 2nd Corps. Did basically the same thing. You're going to see some coarse turf clumped in there. You're going to see the micro scatter. You're going to see the horse guns, the burnt iron, and this guy is the 5.5-inch howitzer, and then this is the 6-pounder. So in my rules, batteries with howitzers mixed in don't affect the firing capability of the battery. The battery is just in reality, it would be a mixed battery. So it would have somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 6-pounders and 2 howitzers in the battery. Now I'm going to consider that to be in there. And so when I work out the ranges and the damage values and stuff like that, it's all going to be based on the 6-pounder. And when you get closer, the grape shot and all that, chain shot and all that stuff, but and the howitzer shells and stuff like that, it's all going to be worked out in the die roll. It's not going to be a separate type of a unit. It's not going to be like a howitzer unit or a 6-pounder unit or a 12-pounder unit or what have you. It's just going to be a horse artillery battery. And I think these guys turned out really good. Now, I went through 2 different blues on the uniform. I started out with dark blue from Vallejo, and it came out, the dark blue didn't come out as good as I had hoped. It was kind of I don't know how to explain it. Not a purple, but it did have a very odd shade to it. So I went back in and did like a highlight of a uniform blue from MiG. And the uniform blue was a little bit lighter, so I could use it as a highlight. So I had the dark blue shadows and the uniform blue highlights. I think it came out really well. I'm extremely pleased with it. All right, let me show you the next things that I did, which are unique for my battle. These are the first 2 Brunswick limbers that I've done ever for my Napoleonics. I think they came out pretty good. I've got the now the Brunswick artilleryman riders that I purchased came with the tall horse plumes like that. And looking through there's 2 different types of Brunswick artillerymen, the drivers. There is the light drivers, and then there's the foot drivers. And these are modeled as light drivers, because the foot drivers have the very small plumes, look a lot like the foot troops. These guys look a lot like the Lieb, or the Lieb troops. Now, when I went to do the bases on these guys, I put a couple of ruts, going parallel to the tires. Not that these guys were the first guys to ride through this area, but it looks like maybe they've gone through here multiple times, or they've got units ahead of them that have gone through. And so they got kind of like the wheel tracks. And then I just put the same type of flock that I did on the guns. Let me rephrase that. I put the earth, what do you call it? The European thick mud is on the tracks. I made 2 little lines of that. And then on the sides of the European mud, I used the brown mud, which is like a dark brown. And it really gives it a weird look when if you look close, you can kind of see that dark brown shining through along the edges, and it kind of gives an eerie look to it. Now, I couldn't find any dedicated limbers designated as Brunswick limbers anywhere. I looked all over the place, but I did find these limbers, which are called early British limbers. So I thought they would be appropriate for the Brunswickers. All right, let me show you the next set. All right, this is the last 2 that I did. I did the Dutch limbers, and you can see they're the same limber carriages as the Brunswickers. These are called the early British. They're not the late British. And the Dutch drivers were mounted on horses. And I did the same thing with the dirt. I used the European for the ruts. I used the brown for the sides and center of the track. And then I hit it with micro scatter. And then on top of the micro scatter, I went ahead and hit it with the coarse turf to give it a little bit of vegetation. I like it. I think it came together really good. I'm very happy with it. So now I've got, with the Brunswick limbers and the Belgian or Dutch Belgian limbers and all my British limbers that I had to rebase, which I did, and then the French limbers with them all rebased properly, and then the last 2 French batteries that I finished. We've got every limber I need, and we've got every gun I need to do Quatre Bras. So now I've only got a few cab units to do and a couple of infantry units to do, and we will be all set. I have an Old Glory order pending. It should be on the way any day now. I don't know when I'm going to receive it. Hopefully before the beginning of the year. That includes my Belgian line and my Dutch Jaegers. So I'm going to have to wait till I receive those packs in before I can do those units. But I do have the entire French Light Regiment that I need to do, with 3 battalions. And I have the French Guard Lancers and the Dragoons. And let me think, what else do I got to do? Oh, the Nassau. I've got the 28th, or is it the 2nd? I don't remember. It's the blue uniformed Nassau troops. I've got all of those figures. So once I get those in, then we will be all set. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you coming out and checking out what I did this week. I'm not going to work on any more of my own personal stuff until I get this commission finished. I've got some Prussian Landwehr that I'm working on right now. I'm going to probably have them done in the next few days, and then I'll jump into some more Probably my French lights, I'm thinking. I don't know. And then we'll get going on finishing up my Quatre Bras battle. So if you like these figures and you want to purchase them or purchase any of my Old Glory figures or any other figures that I might have for sale, you should check out my eBay store located right here. And if you want to stay apprised of my projects and what my status is, you could check out my X. But if you want something painted for yourself, or you have a project that you need worked on, and you want someone else to complete it for you, just contact me at my email or look in the description below for my price sheet. And I will see you in the next one.